What's happening, y'all? Coach Holloway back with you again. Today is going to be another set of my Mythbusters series, this time on Atlanta Falcons cornerback AJ Terrell. There's a low-key debate going on in the Falcon fan base about the worth of AJ Terrell, which he has signed a big contract before this past season. And ever since he got drafted out of Clemson, there's been some small debates about how good he is or ain't. The detractors will point out the plays that they've seen people make on senior receivers make on him, but not all the other times that they've seen him, do good. Now, it is true that he has had some of the best receivers in the league make some plays on him. Names like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Mike Evans, DK Metcalf. But if you notice all the names I mentioned, these are guys who are great now or could be in the Hall of Fame in the future. So if these guys are the ones making plays on you, then, it just comes with the game. But I hadn't seen too many mid-level guys make plays on him, so, you take that for what you will. I honestly think he is a good cornerback. I wouldn't consider him elite, but I do think he's good enough to start in the NFL, and I think he's good enough to get the money that he's been made so far. He is a long, lengthy cornerback who prefers to play the man rather than play the ball. You'll see mostly he's going to be playing the receiver as opposed to looking back to the QB and trying to get picks, which is another criticism, is that he doesn't have enough interceptions for everybody's taste. Big plays is what my man seems to be getting most trouble about. But it's only fair to take a look at it and analyze why that is. So here we are, week 1 of 2024, going against the Steelers. And AJ's matched up there at the top of the screen with former dog George Pickens. Now here's the route and the coverage. It's a basic go route versus a cover 1. And this route and this throw and this whole play to me is just very strange because everything is just very weird. First thing being he's running a go route but goes on an inside release despite it being obvious man-to-man coverage. So Terrell gives up the inside on this release. I don't know why, but he does. And so, okay, now we got to stay in phase. And if you look at this part of the route, he stays with him most of the time. But then just as the ball comes out, Fields was hit. And because he was hit, the ball is short now, and Pickens just comes and tracks it down and gets it. So in my intro, I mentioned the phases of playing defensive back, and the ball skills part, that's what's missing right here. To be fair, though, Pickens is one of the best in the NFL when it comes to tracking the ball midair. And as a DB, it's only but so much you can do, especially when it's a bad ball and you're having to go back behind you. It's difficult for anybody, much less AJ. This I'm going to show as best as possible because there's some nuances that you can't really see unless you got the broadcast version. So you got a man-on-man on top. The safeties, I think they just buzz. Like, I don't know what it is. It's something new I discovered where they just keep their zone right in place, and I don't see the point of it, but that's what I've seen them do lately. And so, like, he's up there by himself. The safeties are just kind of held in whatever coverage they in, and, he gets beat on this play. But I want to look back real quick because there's something you don't see. So once we get to the rewind, I want to show you all this route again. So right about here, you see he gets bumped. This is actually a little elbow shove by Evans, which knocked AJ off track. I know this move because one of my favorite players, Roddy White, used to do it for the Falcons, and I even tried it a little bit when I was in high school. That being said, you still want AJ to finish and fight through the play. So better play by the receiver than a failure from the DB. Here's another one from 2023, this time against DeAndre Hopkins. I know y'all see a trend with all these top-notch receivers he's going against. There's a point to this. So this coverage is a little confusing, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that this is a zone, although he plays it kind of like a man, just basically with his stance. So he kind of just drifts there and kind of lets Hopkins come to him, and then eventually he starts to run in phase with him. And what you can't see, because I don't have the broadcast angle, is this move Nuke puts on him. It's like he grabs both arms around and kind of gets his hands around to get the ball, and AJ looking for a call, and I'm sorry, but Negro, what the hell are you doing, man? Keep playing. Stop worrying about the ref call. Let the coaches handle it. That's what they're there for. Now we're going to look at a better part of his cover skills, which I think is one of his best qualities. We start off with this year's matchup versus Cortland Sutton. This is an RPO, which goes to a broken play, so I'm not going to show no routes. I'm going to just show you where he at. So the ball is snapped, and first thing I like is his footwork right here at the top of the route. At the start of the route. Him able to just mirror step for step Cortland from left to right foot. And even though he does reach his toes, Cortland reaches his toes, he is able to recover. And he's still able to get back in phase with the receiver, but Cortland just makes an incredible play. He can run step for step with anybody, and he even still does make the tackle here, and he's still in the picture. It's just that those incredible athletic plays, that's the stuff y'all see without showing the whole picture. And in my opinion, if you got to do all that to make a play on somebody, that means that DB is doing a good job. And here's from probably his best game of the year, going one-on-one against Terrell. AJ got man coverage and McLaughlin's running a dig route. I like that he starts with a back pedal instead of just letting the man come to him. It seems like a lot of DBs would just want to do that these days. I like that he flipped his hips here and got his outside arm around to the receiver. This actually is legal as long as you don't grab. Then the ball goes in the air and he just used his length to go up and just slap down on the ball. One of the reasons he was drafted was because of his long 6'1", 6'2" frame and arm length to be able to help him make plays like this. Now here you got your traditional mano-a-mano bump and run slant right here. And I want you to watch the feet and the hands. So watch, he already takes a step toward the receiver and puts the first hand up to delay the timing. Then again, flips the hip, gets around, and again, uses that length to be able to swipe them long hands around, or them long arms around to the ball. Like I said, this is the stuff you're drafting for. This is why he got paid that money. Here's one from 2003 with Terrell going against DK Metcalf. Coverage ain't necessary since we ride in the red zone. Again, he mirrors DK step for step. He gets the inside hand out, and he just gets up there with DK Metcalf. He gets up here with this dude. Now this is a criticism I hear too, and it's really up to interpretation on how you want to play the cornerback position. Whether you want to be a guy that gets picks or a guy that just makes the plays on the ball and calls incompletions. You know, everybody's different. Some guys Deion Sanders, some guys Asante Samuel. But anyway, I'm going to get up off that. Okay, so he is down here matched up with Metcalf again. It's just a go route. And first of all, I like this swim move that he does right here. That's pretty cool. Geno throw a bad ball right here. And this is an interceptable ball. That's why I froze it there. I mean, AJ is just more focused on the incompletion than it is the interception for him. This is another broken play versus the Cowboys. And I'm showing this because as this route develops, see, he does a good job staying with him. So at this point where the ball's coming up, a lot of DBs I know would try to reach up and try to catch that themselves. But AJ, that's not what he want to do. He don't even once try to look back to try to intercept the ball. He's just going straight for the hands, punching through the hands to get the incompletion. But no, these are the kind of plays that people want to see more of. Got AJ man coverage matched up against a tight end doing a dig route. So he knows the coverage, takes advantage of the speed advantage, and is able to run up in front and get this pick right here. There's a thing about being aggressive as a corner when you know the coverage behind you is good and you know that you have the speed advantage on a particular receiver where you can just jump routes like this and be able to get these picks. AJ, for the most part, he doesn't do that, but at certain times he understands the situation enough to know that he can be aggressive here and there. And here's another play showing his intelligence and his reading of the coverages. So he's got this wheel route from the running back coming out, and really it's Richie Grant's man. And the back does a good route coming out of here because see Richie's fooled. But before that, you see AJ already know what's going on. He knows that he got to hook the curl linebacker underneath and then a safety up top center field. So he knows he can make an aggressive move back to get this wheel route right here. And of course he gets it and gets the pick. That just goes to show his awareness, intelligence, and that's something you need as a DB also, aside from all the other things. He's also one of the faster cornerbacks in the NFL. He's a 4'4" guy, athletic and long, and you know he make plays on the ball. It's not always an interception, but I mean he does enough to be a good starter. Okay, now I want to make you aware about something I have a little beef with PFF. For the most part, they're good in their analysis, but there are some small things that make a big difference as far as how they grade athletes. Like especially when it comes to corners and targets, I have an issue with it. So right here, you got him matched up on Ayuk, and the thing is, this is a screenplay, okay? So, you know, he gets blocked out, and, you know, they end up scoring a touchdown off of this, but you know PFF counts this as a target and an attempt and a touchdown on Terrell? What the fuck is he supposed to do? I mean, at best, he might could have blown up the block and messed up the play, but I mean, you can't expect most 90% of DBs to do that. It's just, I don't like this kind of grading system. It's one of the things that you have to kind of know the playbook and the coverage rules in order to fairly grade somebody. And the thing is, these stats affect these guys' reputations and even the money they make down the road. Just because somebody lined up on somebody doesn't mean that that's their man. I mean, this one right here, I think this is a cover one, but the way they do it is kind of confusing because it seems like everybody doesn't know what they're doing. Terrell takes this outside receiver here, and this seam comes wide open, and it should be the middle safety's man, but I don't know, for something happens and nobody makes a tackle, makes a stop, but it's kind of to Terrell. You know why? unless you know the coverage rules or what was supposed to happen on this play, you can't say that that was his man. And now to that last point, PFF I think is a pretty good evaluator. However, I think there are some small errors with how they do their grading system, which cause for things to get overblown. So if you look at AJ Terrell on PFF, it's going to show you some things, and you got to look through and find the context of each of them. That's why I like this new NFL Pro. It's allowed me to look through those plays that he got negative grades on and see exactly what it was. So the stuff that I showed you in the last two plays is examples of that. So analytics is one thing, but seeing and watching the plays, that's the biggest thing. That's how Coach Holloway does his reviews. But in conclusion, I hope that y'all have seen this and had your minds changed a little bit about AJ Terrell, or at least giving him some ground or giving him some consideration. But anyways, I think he's a good corner. I'd like to keep him on this team as long as possible in his prime. I'm a fan, and I'm rooting for him. Westlake, went to Westlake, which is right around the corner from my house. But yeah, so I'm with him. And I appreciate y'all for watching, and I hope you continue to watch in the future. Take care.